Welcome back. This is episode number 19 of ECW CyberSlam, and we begin with a recap from last week's show. It looks back at Paul Heyman's apparent change of heart, backtracking on his previous position and suggesting that his actions in the past 2 or 3 months were all about motivating the likes of CM Punk and Rob Van Dam. Of course, nobody bought this, but Heyman told CM Punk to join Rob Van Dam at ringside for the main event, with Rob Van Dam and Sabu picking up a victory over C.W. Anderson and Stevie Richards. So it was an uneventful week last week, but it's a decent rated recap segment. We then go into the Burke Flickinger Centre for the opening match of the night. Brent Albright and Tommy Dreamer teaming up against Johnny Swinger and Elijah Burke and picking up a victory when Brent Albright made Johnny Swinger submit to the crowbar. In terms of in-ring performance, Tommy Dreamer carried the match with a 55. A 43 is okay from Brent Albright, 40 and 41 from their opponents. It's a decent opening match, and by putting Tommy Dreamer with Brent Albright, we're just trying to give the new breed member a bit of the rub, similar to what we've done with CM Punk, but hopefully Brent Albright gets some credibility by teaming with Tommy Dreamer. After the match, we continue that as they stand tall in the ring. Dreamer is putting over just how impressed he was with his tag team partner during that match. As they have their hands raised, Paul Heyman comes out to the top of the ramp, applauding the victorious team. He's continuing to try and worm his way back into the good books of these guys. Brent Albright looks confused, but Tommy Dreamer looks outright furious. Paul holds his hands up, making it clear that he wants no trouble, and he suggests that their issues are all water under the bridge. This only made Dreamer even angrier, and he left the ring, making a beeline for Paul Heyman. Despite supposedly believing their issues were behind them, Heyman got out of there as quickly as he possibly could. We then go into the locker room of the Hustle Homicide, talking to Sonny Siaki, Xavier and Loki. He is dictating to them once more, specifically Xavier, who is in action against Johnny Cashmere next, telling him that there is no room for error tonight. This match is must win. Before that match, we see Tommy Dreamer in the back confronting Paul Heyman. Dreamer is furious, asking Paul Heyman how the hell he thinks he's just going to walk in and they're going to forget everything that he's done for the last 2 months. Heyman tries to calm Tommy down, saying that with Heatwave 2006 coming up, it's important that everybody in ECW is back on the same page. Dreamer can't believe what he's hearing and moves towards Heyman. Of course, Paul Heyman's personal security are onto him immediately. Paul simply walks away. Dreamer is then dragged away by the security, who are fairly rough with him, and it's clear as they go off screen that they're not done with Tommy Dreamer. So a good segment there leading into the second match. Xavier defeating Johnny Cashmere in 10 minutes and 17 seconds. During the match, Trent Acid and Sonny Siaki were both at ringside. Siaki attacked Trent Acid from behind, lifting him in a gorilla press slam and dropping him ribs first onto the guardrail. That meant that he couldn't really help Cashmere throughout the rest of the match. Of course, Sonny Siaki was helping Xavier and he picked up the victory, but an impressive 60 rating from Xavier. That is very good. Cashmere with a disappointing 35, but Xavier doing really well there. That's, I think, his best performance yet. After the match, Sonny Siaki joins Xavier in the ring as footage of him dropping Trent Acid into the guardrail is shown. Homicide then comes down to the ring during them, making it clear that he was impressed with what the two of them did during the match. They appear to have at the very least earned a reprieve from the leader of the Hustle. The three men then shook hands in the ring before heading back up the ramp. Prior to his TV Championship match against CM Punk, Steve Corino was interviewed by Jade. Steve Corino talks about how he should have been the ECW World Champion, but he won't complain about having to take the TV title from CM Punk first. As he continues to put over his chances in the match, he is cut off by Rob Van Dam and Sabu. The two men first look at Anderson and Richards before telling Steve Corino that if he leaves these two lackeys in the back, they won't have to get involved on Punk's behalf in the main event. If he doesn't, then things are going to get a little bit more complicated. Corino then looks to Anderson and Richards, nodding at them and telling Avdi and Sabu that he's more than happy to go it alone. A really good segment there, a 62 rating. Gaining heat to storylines, a good segment there, another good segment in fact, because we've had a pretty good show so far. Speaking too soon as we get a pretty bad segment here, but that's okay, it brings the crowd down before the main event. As the ring announcer is introducing the television championship match, he is cut off by Danny Doran, who makes his way down to the ring. He tells the announcer to shut up because he has something important to say. Carrying a bag with him, Doran pulls out the ECW World Tag Team Championships and lays them across the canvas. Danny then declares that he and Roadkill were still the ECW World Tag Team Champions from way back in 2001, and it's about time Paul E recognised them as such. Doran continued to demand the titles be reinstated until two members of Heyman's personal security team came down to the ring. Doran looked to get free, but was dragged away to the back, one of the security guards picking up the tag team titles and taking them with him as they left the ringside area. We then go into that main event, a 62C, so that is good. I was hoping it could maybe be better. Punk got a B- with Homicide at the start of the month. Not to be tonight. Nonetheless, CM Punk picks up a victory, a clean victory in 14 minutes and 15, hitting a go-to-sleep to Steve Corino. He makes the first defense of his ECW World Television title. It was an even open match, both of them coming close on a number of occasions. A 75 from Punk, a 53 from Steve Corino, and that is a solid main event, getting the crowd buzzing. After the match, CM Punk stands tall and is handed the ECW Television Championship back by the referee. The commentators discussing that Steve Corino has once again fluffed another big match. Taz questions whether he can still compete at the very top level of ECW. One man who has proved he can compete at that level is CM Punk, and as Joey Styles puts over his meteoric rise in ECW, we cut to the back. Paul Heyman is shown watching CM Punk on a screen in the back. He turns to his right-hand man and tells him to get Punk to his office right now. They need to talk. A good segment to end the show, and hopefully this is a C-rated show, certainly going to be there or thereabouts. A C60 rating, increasing our popularity in 45 regions. It was a good solid show throughout. We had the very good main event between CM Punk and Steve Corino. We knew that'd be good. We had the pleasant surprise in the form of Xavier's performance, and throughout just a decent show, keeping storylines going. But the intrigue at the end of the show is what Paul Heyman wants with CM Punk, as he called him into the office as CyberSlam went off the air.